Shalom, la Yam Shal Yashala. Peace be to the elect of the nation of Israel, which the elect of the nation of Israel consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those Israelite foreigners who have been scattered abroad through the various countries by the way of the fathers, going back to a Hebrew Israelite by the way of their fathers. Today say Shalom to the 144,000 Hanabayayim, the prophets, called Ayashim, all men, of the 12 tribes of Israel, and of course the rest of the 1/3, innumerable multitude of men, women, and children, which are believing in the words of the Lord, the true Lord of the Bible, who the true Lord, the Most High's name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son's name is Yahweh Shai, and where of course only salvation is given unto the Hebrew Israelites. First of all, I want to say, all praises to our power. Allah is our power, Yahweh, which is Heavenly Father's name, which means He is, He exists, or He to be. Bahashem is in the name, or Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Slakia. Yahweh Shai means He, the deliverer. That's the only begotten Son of the Most High's. His son, that's his name. And of course, Bahashem meaning in the name. Of course, we go through the Son to get to the Father. Alright, there's a mediator between the Most High and man. That man is Yahweh Shai, as written in the scriptures. Of course, Bahashem Recha Kodash, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Of course, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who well Shini Kabbalah Shala Yachim Nawa was a Konyam Nawa Shal Yasha Allah. Shinya meaning double, Shala Yach Yim Nawa is our apostles, was a Konyam Nawa is our elders. Shal Yashal is of Israel. Godwala Rakab Ba'aith, Great Millstone in these times. That's what I said in the Paleo Hebrew. Shemya Mahpa, my name's a Mahpa, Mayan, Great Millstone, Machana, the Great Millstone, Plaintables Camp, or Machana, which is camp, here in Philadelphia. Come again with another wee lesson, my Lamadium, about this prophecy, which is soon to come to pass, where it actually be implemented actually as mandatory to all inhabitants of the earth. So you have it right here, which will start with this article: Microchipping in Sweden, the rise of biohacking. Now, just so that you know, this, which is the RFID microchip, has been prophesied to happen. Of course, the revelation was given, and so you had the prophet Hanabayah, I believe that's John the Revelator. Okay, Yachanan, I believe that is John in Hebrew, in the Lashman Kodash, the Holy Tongue. So you have it here, Revelation 13, starting at verse 15. It reads, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." Okay, the image of the beast, the image, alright, is the system. The beast is NATO and the EU. This is a Roman system we're in. Of course, all of the laws and such, draconian law and such, you have, of course, all of the ways and the philosophies of the ancient Roman Empire are now here today. It's just reincarnated. You have it where the empires that were before has, of course, been absorbed by, of course, the rulers. Okay, as you had the Greco-Roman Empire and such, you know, you had, of course, the Edomites conquer the Persian and Medes and such, the Greeks, that is, Alexander the Greek. And then you had the Romans, which are Edomites too, came into power, and they, of course, did things as you go into in the prophecy. It goes into being diverse, okay. And when you read, I believe that may be the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, which we're in the 4th beast, Itha. Now, of course, when you read the book of Daniel, it goes into these 4 great beasts which came out from the sea being the people. Okay, Revelation 17:15, you learn that. Diverse one from another. Okay, so you had these, which this represent various kingdoms. Okay, 4 great. All right, which that word great, it should be the Hebrew word, and in Hebrew it's like, let me see if we find it. They got Rob, which means to be a great, okay, huge in size. You have also domineering and character. Let me see, I'm not familiar with this term. I can look it up in Itha or now. It says, assert one will over another in an arrogant way. Right, and we know that, of course, the America which rides upon the scarlet colored beast. Okay, which when we go into it, we'll go into it really quick. I'm gonna start here. Daniel 7:6, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Okay, this of course goes into the Greek Empire. Okay, Alexander the Creep, all right, the Great. Okay, and came out of that lineage of his father Philip the Macedon. Okay, and of course, when he died, Alexander the Creep, he had his 4 generals who succeeded him, and the kingdom was divided onto them, which you go into your Cassandra, your Lacedaemonius, your Ptolemy, and the Seleucid. All right, and then after that, of course, we gonna keep reading. This is Daniel 7:7. It says, and after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, which this 4th beast is the Roman Empire. Okay, the ancient Roman Empire, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and had 10 horns. Okay, and of course this goes into the old, you have the Roman Empire and such. Okay, it had a strong army and such. Okay, and it was when you go into it, it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, because you had, of course, the other beasts before it, and this beast right here had Senate. Okay, and it wasn't where you had kings. Okay, it was like a kingdom in a sense, if you can understand what I'm trying to make you understand. Slakia. This had a Senate. Okay, and this is where you have your whole democracy and such. Okay, which this current system has that now. Okay, coming back. Okay, and it had 10 horns. Okay, and of course you have, of course, the different, the 10 horns and such. All right, which when you go into it, you have the 10 horns which came back with the EU, okay, you know, with the vassal states and such, okay, which are nothing but what? They're just tributaries, okay. So anyway, you could go into more into this, okay, but I just wanted to go into it was diverse, okay. And they, of course, read as it says in the book of Revelation, I believe the 13th chapter, and when it speaks about the beast was wounded unto death. See, when you read Revelation, I could quickly, let me see, I'm just gonna go into it real quick. So Revelation 13. All right, real quick, this is Revelation 13 and 12. I'm just gonna read this one. Revelation 13 and 12. It says, and he exercised all power of the first beast. This current system, they of course take upon the ways of all the old ancient ways, okay. They use you know, that whole wicked way, which when you go into it, you have a different image of the beast, different things such as the democracy, the lies, the covetousness, and we go into, of course, the murder, all right, the blasphemy, okay, all of they different things and such, all right, being against Yahweh Shemal Shai. All right, so anyway, going on, it says, and he caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, so you had, of course, this first beast talking about here, referring to the Roman Empire, and you have it where when what deadly wound was healed, okay, you have the actual revival in which they make you reverence all of these different ways, worship the different ways, okay, homosexuality, okay, you want you to vote and be a part of this system, be a willing member of this whole system, okay, and you have it all of the different ways of this Edomite, which they're Edomites, okay, the Romans here that were ruling in the Roman Empire, okay, what we're speaking about, okay, those Edomite Roman Caesars and such, okay, they of course had all of these different wicked ways, and now they're coming back in a regeneration, okay. So this is Rome and reincarnated, okay, and you could of course go into more of you know, the image of the beast, okay. I just wanted to kind of cover it a wee bit in brief, since in scriptures, you know, that's what the spirit is bringing out at this time, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go now to the book of, back to that Revelation 13 and 15, and it says here, it says the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, which is Esau Edom, who has the rulership. The wicked, earth is given a hand of wicked. The wicked are Edomites, okay? They, of course, have everything in their possession, including the Israelites, the Lord's chosen people. And it's gonna be a day when he's going to bring this chip as a mandatory answer for the economic collapse which is imminent. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So of course, all from every social economic situation, okay, social standing, whatever if you're in a very prosperous in your life, okay, where you have, of course, a good salary, may have a bank account, so savings, okay, maybe may have nothing, you're poor, okay, it doesn't matter. The actual left hand side, all right, which is the Lord working through, of course, sending the spiritual demon Satan, which the Edomites are the physical counterpart, which they are inspired through that spiritual demon Satan. All right, the physical counterpart for the spiritual demon Satan, all right, is Esau Edom, is going to implement this. Okay, it says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand, which we know the word mark goes into chragma, which is a incision, okay, a cutting in the flesh, which the RFID microchip is that. As small as a grain of rice, in which when you read microchipping and Sweden rise of biohacking, it's on the rise. It's because this is the new way, and Sweden is when they're going into it, Sweden goes from being the first in adopting banknotes in Europe in 1661 to introducing its own digital currency in 2021 and becoming the first cashless society in 2023. Now, you have to understand that Esau Edom, he thinks that his kingdom is going to continue from generation to generation, as it reads in the book of Psalms. It's that Psalms, maybe the book of Psalms, the 49th chapter, 11, where it speaks of Psalms 49, which it says, in their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their names after their lands after their own names, in which obviously the Edomites, they conquer and they put their names on it, like Alexander in Alexandria, Egypt. Okay, you have it where they, of course, conquered the previous people, okay, inhabitants, and they placed their names on it. Okay, here in America and abroad. Okay, in various ways we can prove that, but the point being is that their dwelling places to all generations, and that their inward thoughts that their houses shall continue forever. So they want it to go on forever. I will okay, their dwelling for generations. Okay, so they, of course, don't want the kingdom for Israel. They want the kingdom for themselves. But this is the way they think. Okay, they think very vain. Right? That's why in the scriptures it says, "Why is earth and ashes, proud and such." Okay. I mean, it's the Most High that giveth the kingdom unto men to rule and such. All right, as is written in the book of Daniel. Now, as it says in the book of Job, the 15th chapter, it tells you that the current rulers, which are the Edomites, okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's the book of Job. Job chapter 15, or maybe chapter 20, I have to check. One moment. Scriptures speak about there's bounds that he can only pass. So that's it. Actually, Job 14 and 5. One chapter back. Salachia, which means excuse me. Ayawab, which means persecuted. Which this chip is going to bring persecution onto you Israelites out there. Okay, harassment, because they're going to want you to take it. Edomites, who have control of the world, the elite of them, is going to make this mandatory. Job chapter 14 and 5, it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, with the Most High. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, or he cannot pass. All right. So you have it. Which I believe means. It says here. Verily, let's see, I'm going into it. Or that is actually that's how you pronounce it correctly. And you have charataza, all right, which are determined. Charataza, which means to the side, right? Charataza also means to cut. Okay, he has bounds, which or quach, a cha and a qua. All right, he has a limit, okay, or ordinance. He's ordered the rule for a certain time, okay. From quach in the root, which you have the cut in, cut out decree. All right, so the Lord gave him a certain decree, all right, ordinance, a limit in which he can rule, all right, but he knows, but he has but a short time, so he's going to try to roll this out soon. Okay, as you can see, the push in the mainstream media to talk about the chip, and these various countries are adopting the chip, okay, in its economy, in its regular daily tasks, ultimately making these people become a part of this Internet of Things, okay, integrated with the internet, all the devices which they want you to be a device to, you know, a part of the whole system electronically, where they can see and know everything that you do, or what you do. Let's see in Scotch Stone. All right, so it says, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, so the Lord has an actual time in which he appointed Esau, Edom, to roll out all that he's doing, and also which when you go into it, he's trying to accomplish the New World Order, okay, which ultimately is to chip all inhabitants of the earth. Okay, so this isn't far-fetched at all. So back to the Revelation 13. It says in 16, it says, and causeth all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which the chragma is a incision, and goes on the root charax, which means palisade, okay, which that stake, which you go into a pail, and that actual surgical device in which they insert the chip inside your body. That'd be like a pail, a palisade, okay. So the chip is the mark of the beast. RFID microchip, NFC chip is the mark of the beast. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So they have brain chips, and they also have these chips in which they put in your body, okay, whether it's your right hand, your left hand, etc., etc. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as you put it in your body. Okay, you have been in violation of this. Okay, which we'll get that scripture too. It says, and it said that in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, as Esau, and his number is 666. Right, which you go into the whole the barcode and such. Okay. Now, let's go into the article a little bit. Sweden, how to live in the world's first cashless society. It says, how is a country become the world's first cashless society? Sweden is one of the most technologically advanced nation on the planet. Is leading the way. Sweden is expected to become the first cashless society by March of 2023, and this is going to be before that. Okay, I must note. Okay, because when you look at what they're actually doing, and as it's going to read, it says by then cash will no longer or not be accepted any longer as means of payment in Sweden. Now in Sweden you have it where when you try to pay with your legal tender and printing money and such, you're getting a hassle because many people are not using it. You know, everybody's using bank cards and such, credit cards, and also these chips. It says here, it says a brief history of printing money. It has Sweden has always been one of the first countries embracing a new technology, and this is a European country. All right, Edomite primarily. Most of these people are without the faith, and there's going to be Israelites there, but primarily Edomites there. As you can see, they're accepting and embracing this, you know, without any drawback. All right, or rebellion. It says there's a tradition in Sweden about being first. Right, so that's a pride thing, being the first. Okay, it says this is a noticeable throughout the Scandinavian country history, and its financial system is not an exception. It says in the 1661, Sweden was the first country in Europe to introduce banknotes. In 2023, Sweden has become the first cashless nation in the world, or Koloratiza, with an economy household management that goes 100% digital. Okay, so say goodbye to your cash, your bank notes. All right, they're going to want everything to be digital. Okay, let's get in a wee bit more information. It says it took Sweden 362 years to transition from being the first nation in Europe to adopt banknotes in 1661 to become the first cashless economy in 2023. So if they already been the first, already putting chips already, when you go into at least 3,000 to 5,000, I believe people already have the chip in Sweden. She'll get the actual number, you know, because I roughly estimate it. Of course, them being a forerunner for the rest of the world. Okay, it says debit, credit card chip, using the chip. So that chip which is on your debit or credit card, that's the RFID chip technology that's there. All right, and the pen, of course, you use that to authenticate. Okay, to make that payment. No, you won't have to, of course, authenticate yourself anymore with a pen, because you'll be a chip being put in your body. So that would be your form of actual authentication through this chip. Okay, then the old-fashioned magnetic band using contactless technology, or the mobile application Swish, especially designed to help Swedes embrace a cashless life. You have different mobile applications and devices, kiosks, which accept your Google Pay and your Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, all of the different things. It says this means no more than 80% of the retail transactions have been conducted electronically. So you have 80% of the retail transaction are being conducted electronically. Okay, meaning no analog anymore. They're using these different cashless options. Okay, it says this is similar to the rest of the other Nordic countries, which include Finland, the Finnish, right? Norway, Denmark, Iceland. The way Nordics are quickly embracing the cashless lifestyle strongly contrasts with the countries in the south of Europe, where cash is still a strong form of payment, and with several places accepting only cash. This is a complete opposite of what happens in Northern Europe, where cash is no longer accepted in many establishments. And I know too, when you're of course traveling, a lot of the times you go to these different hotels and such, you gotta of course pay via a bank card or something electronically, and this is just ways to condition the people to get done with what the society establishment of the elite want, which ultimately want this chip as it go into. And see, it says that it's making it very difficult already to find establishments where they accept cash, because you have different various brick and mortar stores and such and are rejecting cash, and you have these various Nordic countries, and they are telling you have to of course use a cashless form of payment. So it says mobile applications like Swish, that's one of the we apps that you have. Okay, it says in 2012 the 6th largest bank in Sweden got together to build an instantaneous mobile payment platform to help customers make electronic payments easier. Right, so there's also a globalist agenda, of course, to bringing forth this too. But it says here the application called Swish developed as a collaboration. A collaboration was embraced and used by everyone in Sweden. Okay, you have the Swish way of payment. You can see that video on your own. It says both banks and the government, both the banks and the government, which you have the banks, they're privatized for the most part, and with the central banks and such, mainly. I have to go check in Sweden, but we know that it stem all the way back to the different elite banking families who have control of all of the money in the world. Okay, the gold and the real money, the silver, and they have, of course, have these different central banks issues the money, all right, to the actual countries and such. All right, so then it says both the bank. The point being I'm making is that it says both banks and government encourage citizens to adopt a cashless economy. Swish is a close to becoming a Swedish standard of mobile payment. All right, so, and it even says here that only 13% of the total population in Sweden rely on cash. It says children are also part of the transition. Some of them will never know who it was like to live in a world where cash transactions were widely accepted. Okay, some of them are going to see printed money only on their photos and video, basically in museums and such. It says Swedish bank issue debit cards and citizens aged 70 years or older with parental permission, which translated to more than 97% of the population. This introduced them to the cashless society that will be part of this future. There's no need in carrying cash in Stockholm today. Or you got your cafe, I believe it has to be coffee, possibly. Hot chocolate, hot cocoa, coffee, sweetest pastries at a cashless market in Stockholm. No need to carry cash here. Only debit cards and Swish are acceptable payment methods. Cash accounts are less than 1% of the total transaction in Sweden. So less than 1%. They're really okay. Man, it's just all digital. It says cash transactions are heavily discouraged. More than 99% of merchants accept debit cards. Customer payments are with cash are less than 20% total transaction. Yeah, you have it like seen in various documentaries. Someone tried to pay with cash, and then the person kindly issue or give back change because they don't have the actual amount. And then you have it, of course, the banks are giving big major fees in order for you to, of course, buy the actual banknotes and such to supply for your business. To then, of course, if you have a actual customer to pay, that's paying with cash, all right, to get cash, back, and change and banknotes and such, right? It says over 80% of the transactions are cashless and increasing the trend. Several years ago, Stockholm's public transport stopped accepting cash. Tickets are paid by using mobile application, debit cards, etc., etc. So you kind of get the picture. They got practical reasons for cashless. It's just economy, crime fighting. Everything gonna be linked and more secure. Okay, etc., etc. Future of money. All right. E-chrono, biometrics, payments, your body measure your body. All right, which they have the chip to be part of your body. Okay, to authenticate yourself. Like your voice can kind of be used for biometrics. Your thumbprint can be used for biometrics. Visual, retina standing, that's biometrics. Okay. It says integrity and privacy in the design of new payment technology continue emerging. Ultimately, they want the chips, so it doesn't matter what these other different methods are. The actual end game is the chip, or for the microchip. It said here, these microchips are already being used to sign into gyms, unlock doors, buy tickets, and carry out transactions. Okay, they already back in 2015. They're having a fuss. You have it here. Let me see. It says in Sweden, however, some are approaching this trend through implication of under the skin form of microchip, having a fuss start in Sweden in 2015. Biochipping has taken off increasingly common alternative to use a key cards and e-tickets. So not only you'll be able to buy to sell, but you'll be able to load up your various electronic keys, such as, say, if you have your car and it's enabled to be open with RFID technology, you have the chip, you can load up the various passcodes and such to be able to authenticate it's actually you and open the door, etc., etc. Entry into different various buildings, jobs, etc. It said after being injected with a syringe, which that injected is a violation of course, your Leviticus 19:28. Not, of course, receive any cuttings of the flesh, any markings of the deed. Cuttings of the flesh is that one right there. Okay. It says between the thumb and the forefinger, at roughly the grain of rice, these chips are designed to render user life more convenient. This is, of course, a very major word here, convenience. Okay, or things will be well fit into a person's needs. Okay, with little trouble and effort, suitable That's what Esau wanted. Instead of course, using analog means and current means to do things, what most people are accustomed to do, you'll now be having a chip when it's mandatory. But you Israelites are gonna have to reject it. If not, you'll be if you don't take the chip. All right. Let me go back because I'm going a bit heated myself. Take the chip, you're gonna be destroyed. If you don't take the chip, of course, you're living off and showing your faith to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Lord, the Most High. The Lord is going to take care of you. All right. If you, of course, are part of His elect. Okay. You resisting and showing your faith, by, of course, believing in the words of the Bible. You being an Israelite. Okay, that, of course, you believing in the Lord taking care of you. There's salvation in that. Okay, believing in these prophecies. Okay, just simply put. Okay, because this is a prophecy which is in Revelation as well. Revelation the 3rd chapter and around the 10th verse. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, like a many sense." All right, all inhabitants. Okay, to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, which is going to put that pressure upon you. Okay, because there's going to be enticement to sin. Okay, you can't eat without having a chip. You can't buy or sell without having a chip. So Esau Edom is going to make it very convincing for those that are not spiritual to take it. But they that are part of that elect shall not be deceived, as it's written in the book, maybe in Matthew 24. Let me just check the Kodash. Let me see, where is it? Is it let's see. Probably spelled it wrong. Let me see. Give me a wee moment. Let's see. Let's go into the New Testament. That's it, Slakia. This is Matthew 24:24. Okay, it says here. That's what their Kodash. 2 plus 2 is 4. Yeah, so 444. Chesed, mercy. It says, "For there shall arise false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." If it were possible, but you have it, the elect can't, of course, be deceived because they have that seal. They are the Lord's chosen Bachayar, from before the foundation of the world by Yahweh and given unto Yahweh Shai. The sheep hear my voice. She'll hear of course, Yahweh Shai's voice, and they follow him. Okay? So, there's going to be an hour of temptation. And you kindly take the chip. Okay, Revelation 13. No, Revelation 14. Around 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So it doesn't matter what part it is in your body. Somebody may say, oh, I took it, but it's in my left hand. It said right hand in Revelation 13. That doesn't matter. Alright, it says in the hand. Alright, yad. Okay, which is hand. Okay, so it's near getting around it at all. Okay, it says the same shall drink, because they got brain chips too. It says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the power, which is poured out without mixture in his to a cup of his indignation, his righteous anger of the Most High, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. The Lamb being Yahweh Shai, the holy hosts of Bashamayim of the heaven. Okay, we're gonna come at you have the last trump and such. The nuclear missiles are gonna go off, and going to bring judgment to the world. You know, to the wicked of the world. 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to continue to walk in the ways of Esau, Edom, and they walk in the ways, and the Durak are the way of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, which says not to take the chip, because you would take that chip, you're worshiping that image of the beast. Okay, you're of course being subservient to Esau, not nay to the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai. So the Lord's going to destroy you. You have to have strength and trust in Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Kakadas and Yad always. And this is the book of Psalms 56. 11. The Holium, I always get it mixed up, which means songs in Hebrew, Baha Bariath, Baha Lashman Kodash in the Holy Tongue. Where Hebrew is light, we speak Hebrew, okay, to the best of our ability. And it says here, Psalms 56 and 11, it says, in the power have I put my trust. I will know or not be afraid what man can do to me. Right, because Esau is going to try to put you to death if you may, of course, take the mark of the beast. You have guillotines, and different torture apparatus, different laws set up for those who may want to comply to the new order. Okay. It says Ba Alayah or Alahayim, alright, Ba Alahayim, which is mean in the powers, alright, Yahweh Shem Shai. It says Batach Thaya, alright, which means what? I put my trust, alright. Batach meaning safety, trust, alright. My La'ah, alright, La'ah meaning no or not. You have Yara, alright, which that means I, and you have Yara means fear, right? In Hebrew, Yara is fear, before Awad, and means well, in certain cases, in this case it does mean it means I, alright? Yara, I fear. All right, la I yirai. It says no, I fear. Ma means what, okay, in Hebrew. And you have ya, I sha, all right, which that means he, all right, or it has what man can do to me, which I sha is of course different works, all right, what a person can do, or they, as I say in Scotch tongues. It has have Adam, or Adam, which they got here from man, all right. You have la ya, all right, unto me, or to. La means to, and ya at the end as a suffix means me, all right. Just broken down in Hebrew, just so that you can know what it means. That's where the force is in the Hebrew, and their, of course, holy tongue, which the Lord returned back onto us, all right. So the chip is a real thing. Renee, of course, ignorant of Satan's devices, okay. When he's trying to, of course, establish his enterprise, as it's also written in the scriptures. And let's see, enterprise. Let me see if I spelled it wrong. Right, Slakia. Yeah, so this is Arkan Karawai. Read. This is Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Alright, their new order, okay, which they want to do, their undertaking. Okay, they want this chip onto all of the inhabitants of the world. Okay, it says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. All right, as it says there, wiser than Daniel? All right, Esau is wiser than Daniel and such. Okay, read that in Ezekiel. And so they'd be the wise here, and it says in their own craftiness. Okay, because Esau is trying to be very crafty, make it convenient. All right, which craftiness is Iram Vahabariath, which is subtlety and shrewdness. Okay, which we know that Esau, Edom, is that serpent back in the garden. All right, that man. All right, well, really, the spirit that was in the serpent, the spirit that's within that serpent is the same spirit that's in Esau, Edom of today. Okay, reincarnation is biblical. So their own craftiness in their counsel, Itazah, which is counsel, right? Advice or purpose. Of the four is carried headlong. Okay, and that's all basically. I have, of course, for this wee lesson, might or lamad might, which is a lesson or teaching. Lamad, which is a lesson or teaching, and you have might, which means little. Okay, lesson, which is kabod. It's actually kabod is heavy because you kind of take this chip. Simple as that. They're pushing it, very much. Okay, there's all types of articles that just tell you about, one day you're going to take a chip. You may be taking this chip. Well, that one day, of course, is pretty soon. All right, just one economic collapse, one false flag event, and of course, one instance of martial law being implemented. From there, of course, putting this place in a police state in which they implement this chip. So that's it for this wee lesson. Yeah, of course, to measure the time diligently in itself. All right, you know that the Edomites are going to come with great wrath, all right, onto us. So we have to arm ourselves with that whole armor. Have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kodesh, as it reads. You know, he's gonna have he has, of course, his angels encampeth about those that fear the Most High. He's gonna have, as it's written, of course, servants shall eat. Okay, they shall be hungry. We're gonna drink. You know, we're gonna have abundance. You know, in their times, the Lord gonna take care of us in miraculous ways. So the chip is no only rising in Sweden, but also in another report which I haven't read on my own. You have it in Dubai or something of that nature over there in the Middle East. Dubai. Microchip. There's an article I seen other Achim post up. Let me see. Future of UAE, United Arab Emirates. Microchips implanted in humans perform daily transactions such as shopping, going inside the metro, buying and selling, right? And other digital interactions. This may probably be one of the major highlights of the recently concluded Gulf Information and Technological Exhibition. It says this event is the biggest and most popular technological exhibition in the Middle East, which showcases next-gen technologies introduced by governments and international companies. Okay, you have it here. This company, which is titled SD Salat, has teamed with the Biohacks International, which is a biotech company in Stockholm, Sweden, to introduce the technology to the UAE and the Middle East audience. So they pushing it through Sweden. They different biohack startups and different companies and such being the first of everything with this Edomites, pushing it off to in the Middle East. All right. It says the chip, which is again reinforcing size of the grain of rice, will be inserted under the skin between the index finger and the thumb. And the chip contains all kinds of data, including passwords, medical history, and other sensitive information. So all of that things going to be on that chip. Look at the different sheiks and such, which mostly the elite there are Edomites. All right, won't judge off the outward appearance. It says microchips the size of a grain of rice injected on human hands introduced at the G-Tex in Dubai. All right, they got a wee Instagram video, just to show you. This is crazy. Microchip implant. Internet. I seen also in that other Internet of Things, ITO or IoT wallet and card. All right, a card. I have to look into that too. So that's basically it. Look into these things. All right, things. Microchip implant on everyday usage. Okay, everyday use. It stores various sensitive information. You can sign in your laptop device and microchips. Go to inside chains, enter offices. All right, so this here. What do you think about this technology? It's wicked, and it's here. It's near coming. It's here. All right, it's just a matter of time before it's actually mandatory, as it is the year of Chagma. All right, 2019. We're about to be in 2020. So we've seen a major push in this being a thing many people are now becoming knowledgeable about, and them actually pushing it into the mainstream. All right, so it's now, of course, a thing where people are saying that, hey, that never happened. It's already happening. Okay, so with that, I just want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rekakodash. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rekakodash. Call Allah Yam Lai Allahayanahu Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rekakodash. All praise to our power Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rekakodash. Call Hawad. All glory La Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. to the Most High is only God's Son. Of course, double honors to those apostles at Great Millstone. And peace and salutation. This is your Akim. Don't take the chip at all. Alright? The RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. Hope you're edified and shalom. Till the next time.